Alright, so a little something new here today. I had to buy a car. It's like the whole year I've lived here, I haven't had to commute because I was working from home. And so all I had was the motorcycle. But I've switched jobs, I'm starting one next week, and since I don't have a motorcycle right now, I had to buy a car, and I had to do it kind of quickly. So I wanted something that was that was going to be dependable, that I could trust, and I wanted something that would be interesting. And it had to be about $4,000. So I ended up settling on this, which is a 2009 Crown Victoria P71, or CVPI as it's also known. It's the police specification Ford Crown Victoria. I think this car is kind of controversial. I mean, it looks like a police car. It's got the bull bar and the spotlights, and from the front, you can't even tell the difference. It looks exactly like a police interceptor. And actually, I had to take the spotlights off because I was like getting irritated with people driving around me funny. Like people would ride in your blind spot, or they like wouldn't pass you, or they'd drive slow in front of you because like everyone thinks you're a cop. And then what's weird is like once they figure out you're not, they get mad and then they like speed past you. So like, I don't know, I'm not interested in impersonating a police officer. I just thought, like, for the money, this is a lot of car, right? Like, what you're getting is a big V8 engine, rear-wheel drive, iconic vehicle. I just thought it'd be really fun to have one and kind of see what it's all about. And I've never had a car with a V8, and so far I'm realizing that it's a pretty thirsty engine. I mean, around town, I've gotten about 16 miles to the gallon, which is the worst of any car I've ever had. I guess you could say it's fast, but like whenever I really put the pedal to the floor, this automatic transmission goes down to like its lowest gear, and it just redlines. And that makes me cringe a little bit because you know that while this was a service car, that happened a lot. It was either probably idling on the side of the road or the pedal was on the floor, and that was probably it. So like, as I drive it, I try not to accelerate hard enough to make the transmission drop like that. But overall, it's pretty smooth. You know, I just kind of thought this would be a fun car to experiment with. I mean, I'm not interested in impersonating a cop. I know a lot of people buy these cars to do that. That's why I ended up taking the spotlights off, because I mean that's really the giveaway about whether or not it's a cop. Since I've taken them off, I get a lot of people just passing me and driving normal around me. So I'm hoping that I don't have too many problems. So far, it's been pretty fun, and I want to make some videos with it. You know, I'm not going to talk too much about the specs on this car because I want to save that for another video. But I can tell you that it's got a whole lot of nothing. I mean, there really are no luxuries. There's no center console. There's an AC and a radio, and the radio actually doesn't even really work because the antennas on top are kind of modified for something else. It is kind of weird that you have these little hooks in this radio, and the whole thing just kind of pulls out. Very, very weird. So I don't know. I might be replacing it, but I mean, there's not a whole lot here. You got cup holders though. So that's kind of good. Hold your coffee, spill your coffee. I know some people probably aren't into this. For $4,000, I mean, it was this or a sports car that didn't really work. I'm sure people are going to suggest things I could have gotten that are good alternatives. Anyway, so I mean, I'll talk more about it later. Right now, I'm actually kind of looking for a spot that I took my motorcycle out to once, where there was some nice dirt to ride on. I want to kind of see if I can break this thing loose. Yeah, I came out here on my bike one time. I was exploring this area. And I don't think I ever uploaded the video. Not a whole lot happened. It wasn't very interesting. But there is some drivable dirt right here. There's like hills and shit out here you can use some motorcycle riding on. I don't know. The road's pretty bumpy, and one of the things I've noticed when I'm driving this car on bumpy roads is I feel all of it directly into the steering wheel. Like you can feel it when the shocks and springs are like quivering. You can feel it in the wheel really well, and I don't know if that's worn out parts or if that's just kind of like how the car is built, but it's kind of weird. Let's put it down in 1. Let's see if we can make some smoke. That door there's got something loose inside of it, and it makes this nasty rattling noise. I'm gonna have to take that panel off and see if I can fix it. This would be a good drift car. They're a dime a dozen. Most of them are damaged. This would be a great drift car. Anyway, peace.